Double contact. The current as well, Alex. Zamalek earning 1 point. To stay. What a fly! It's the real tinubu, OONCON First Lady, Federal Republic of Nigeria. We want to humbly call upon our dignitaries. Volleyball Club Championship 2020.
What a moment there, looking at the African Women Volleyball Club Championship that took place in Abuja, the final between Zamalek Volleyball Club women team and also facing Al Ahly. It was a moment of joy for Zamalek. Right now, they've done it 3 times in a row, dominating Africa. They rule Africa right now when it comes to women inter-club volleyball competition. Welcome you on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV. Adeni Shafe. Time to take around the world of sport, and we look at that particular moment where Zamalek triumphed against their arch rival over there in Egypt and also in Africa against Al Ahly in the game that really was a tough one between the two clubs. They really fought hard to see the winner, the game that actually entered the 4th set. What a game, what a moment. Nigeria hosting, Nigerian custom really did well, and right now Zamalek rule Africa. Again, they've done it. This is the 3rd time they are doing back to back to back. And right now, they are the queen of inter-club volleyball championship in Africa. And they deserve it because they really fought well against Al Ahly. Even though Al Ahly really did well too against them, it was a good one. 29, you look at them playing so well, 29, 27, 25, 22. And they also did well, 25, 20, before they eventually scope it. Talking about Al Ahly in the 4th set. The competition that took place in Abuja. MK Abiola Stadium, the place to be, as Nigerian Customs Service hosted the whole Africa. 16 clubs participated. Eventually, it turned out to be Egyptian affair in the final, and you have to give kudos to all the teams that participated, and all the teams also celebrating Nigeria for being a very good host to them right now. Well, we have in the studio, Joseph Peter is here to talk sport on the show. Well, you saw there the performance of the two teams, Al Ahly and Zamalek. Zamalek winning it back to back to back, 3 times in a row, facing 9-time champion. Talking about Al Ahly, they've won it 9 times also. This event started in 1986, 39 years ago, and it's getting interesting for the fact that Egyptians, they dominated, they came, they saw, they conquered.
You know, well, before I say anything about the game, I would like to say kudos to the organizers. The whole thing looks sparkling, it's colorful, like as you should expect a sport, event should be. So kudos to the organization, and thank God the Nigerian girls also did well. But it's an Egyptian affair, and usually you would see this in other sports, and it's also down to this sport. So it's beautiful actually, and kudos to the girls, the Zamalek girls, for having been able to win it. It's not easy. It's not easy for you to become champion, and you
3 times in a row.
You win back to back to back. It's not so simple. It's harder. People think it's easier when you've won it before, but it's actually hard when you win it, and because the complacency tends to come into it. But they didn't allow that to stop them. So kudos to them, and a nice competition for me.
And you look at the ladies in red as Al Ahly, they really gave a very good fight. In fact, they won the 2nd set. The 4th set had to go to extra, and then the 2nd set, which they won, the 3rd set, it was a slide, 25-20, and the 3rd set too was very close. They fought. Nigerians were kind of divided yesterday. Some were supporting Al Ahly, some were supporting Zamalek. It was a tough moment because a lot of people that were there at the stadium trying to see who they support now. But it seems because Zamalek, they've done it before, some Nigerians were actually supporting Al Ahly, while some were supporting Zamalek. What a moment there in the world of volleyball, and you just have to give kudos to the two teams. They fought hard, they showed class in those encounters there, and for the fact that they were able to get to the final, they were unbeaten all through in the championship. The two teams, Zamalek and Al Ahly, they fought hard. They did not lose any game before the final, and I saw the way the ladies in red, they were crying. They really cried. In fact, one of them collapsed yesterday. They had to rush that out from the scene, and it was a moment that they fought. In fact, Zamalek will just have to thank their stars that they were able to win this particular final.
If you go by just the highlights, you probably would think that the
red team, Al Ahly,
the Al Ahly team would be the one who would win the match, but it's not so. Instead, it's the Zamalek team so that tells you the amount of competition that that happened yesterday between the two games. So really, it's a beautiful game. I just love the fact that it is staged well and it's colorful and the best team won.
And I use this mean at least if you look at that particular indoor sports hall, Nigerian Custom did a good job. The old arena really colorful, like you said. The seats, the ambience everywhere looks like, okay, this is an African interclub competition, how it should be. Gadgets, everything that needed to be used were there from day one of this competition. If you look at the seat, they've actually painted in their own color. And you look at the organization, Nigeria Custom really deserve all the accolades they are getting right now across Africa for the fact that they hosted, even though our teams came second, came 9th and 10th. Well, at least we did well by being a very good host, and that's a good one there coming from Al Ahly and Zamalek in the final of African Women Volleyball Club Championship that took place in Nigeria, Abuja. And if you want to really, we can do this, and they did well hosting that competition well there. Well, congrats to the winning team, Zamalek winning it back-to-back, making it the third time, and also for Al Ahly, they fought hard. The ladies really did well. And right now, the next one will be tough because I'm sure all the other teams too will try their best to see how they will do it. For the team from Kenya Pipeline, they came third in the competition and they fought hard by being able to do it. They defeated the Carthage team from Tunisia, so they were able to squeeze themselves in there, and they did well from Eastern Africa. Well, right now, the North Africa dominate when it comes to Interclub Women Championship in volleyball, and we have to give kudos to them. We'll be looking at the African Women Volleyball Championship, the club interclub competition that started and ended right now in Abuja. Really, if we really want to do something in this nation, we can do it. And I love the fact that Nigerian Custom took it upon themselves to put up a very good show of showcasing Nigeria in that encounter there. Well, right now, we're talking about volleyball. Some set of Nigeria also traveled to Morocco, precisely in Rabat. And they did well there in Rabat by being able to, they played 6 games, they won 4, they lost 2. Twice they lost against Al Ittihad of Egypt, but they were able to qualify for the Basketball African League playoff. Let's take a look at that story. Basketball African League, we are ready for the playoff. Rivers Hoopers, they make that statement of the fact that they won 4 games out of 6. And you have to give kudos to them. They played their 4th game and did against Stade Malien. They won against them, won against FUS Rabat. Let's take a look at the result and also talking about their conference there. Well, for the result against, they did well rather against, they lost rather against Al Ittihad, and they also won against the Malian as it is. Well, looking at this particular story of Rivers Hoopers, they've been able to qualify for the playoff that will be coming up in Pretoria, South Africa. That should be from June, where they will be playing the playoff. But right now, the top best team in Africa when it comes to club side interclub competition in BAL, they did well right now. They play 6 matches or games against Stade Malien, FUS Rabat, the home team of Morocco. They also play against Al Ittihad. Al Ittihad defeated them twice, and you also have them defeating Stade Malien twice, defeating FUS Rabat twice. FUS Rabat were at home. The support of Moroccans didn't stop the Kingsmen. They were able to do well.
For me, Rivers Hoopers are now becoming perpetual winners because they made hay. Like last year when they did very, very well, we saw what they were able to achieve. And now they've gone and they are also doing well. They've attained great results. For me, to win 4 games out of 6 is a good plus. I mean, it qualifies them for the game in Pretoria, and then it gives them momentum. That tells you that they are doing a lot of things right in that camp, and they should keep it up. I am quite sure that they would keep breaking highs if they continue the level at which they are doing. And to go to Morocco and defeat a Moroccan team in their home twice, it's not so easy. You know how Moroccans and their support and how they can intimidate you.
North Africans.
Yes, North Africans.
The way they take sport is quite different.
It's different. And what's even surprising when you look at the whole scope of the North African thing and sport, you begin to wonder, shouldn't we be the one who are more free to be,
perform and do better than them, because when you look at them very well, you would want to think one or two things that do not matter would stop them, but it doesn't stop them. They keep doing better in all angles in sport. We just finished the story of volleyball now. They were the ones who dominated. Now we're talking about basketball, and we have Al Ittihad that defeated our team twice. It's not really a problem, because we too, they say a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. We've started with Rivers Hoopers. They did well last year. They are doing well now. Who knows where they can reach and what they can be able to achieve in the future. But it's just so beautiful to see what these South Africans are doing, and hopefully we may want to copy and steal one or two things from them, and maybe it will help us.
No, seriously, I love the way the Rivers Hoopers actually qualify in style for the playoffs. By being able to, out of 6 games, you won 4. That's at least that's a good one there, beyond the half of the competition. And the fact that they were able to defeat Stade Malien twice, defeat FC Rabat, despite all the support we got from their fans. We lost twice to the bitter experience we gave to the other team. We
received it from Al Ittihad.
For Al Ittihad. But right now, they've qualified, and they are saying, well, we are ready for the playoff. Remember, they came third last season.
This season, I believe with all, assurance that Rivers Hoopers will do better. That is just normal. For me, in sport, when you go and you gain experience and you don't take a break, instead you work harder, it's only normal for you to attain the result that is needed. So far, seeing them defeat the Moroccan team home and away, it's very, very important. That particular game is very, very important. It's a morale booster. When you do well in sport, it makes you better for the next game. So as far as I'm concerned, there is no reason for Nigerians to worry about what Rivers Hoopers will be able to achieve come Pretoria. They will do absolutely better. That is just what I believe.
Well, looking at the fact that they will do better, if you look at the way it is there, 1 and 2, they've been able to make it. Al Ittihad, they played 6, they won 6, they didn't lose any game. Rivers Hoopers played 6, they won 4, they lost 2. FCS Rabat, they played 6, they won 2, they lost 4. And you look at Stade Mali and the team from Mali, they played 6, they lost all the games. But for Rivers Hoopers, they've been able to at least qualify from the Kalahari Conference of the Basketball African League. Getting interesting. Rivers Hoopers right now ready to at least do well by the time they travel in June to Pretoria, South Africa, where they will show their class, what they are made of. And this time around, from top position, I want to see them either in first or second. That shows that they are improving. And I have to give kudos to the entire team led by Coach Ogo Odaudu there for what they are doing. Watch out for Akesh Madut, other player, outstanding. All of them doing so well. Coco, you have to give kudos to all of them. Okiki, the entire team, and the River State government for what they are doing. Support from NSC and all that, projecting Nigeria. Because right now, Rivers Hoopers are no longer Rivers Hoopers of River State. They are for Nigeria.
They are Rivers Hoopers of Nigeria.
Exactly. Now. This is a competition that has to do with you are coming to represent your country now. Yeah. Look at the final of that volleyball competition. Immediate as you keep writing or reporting or whatever you want to mention, it has to be Egypt.
Yes.
Egypt and Egypt.
Both ways.
Zamalek, Al Ahly. When we were interviewing the deputy ambassador of Egypt to Nigeria, she was like, okay, thank you, Nigeria. But still, after Egyptian final, she was so happy that, okay, whoever wins, is our
it's a win for her.
A win-win.
It's a win-win. So,
the fact that we have a team at the Basketball African League that is actually doing well, that's a good one there. Yes. You can have 2, it's not bad. But right now, we're celebrating Rivers Hoopers for being able to pick that ticket, qualifying for the Basketball African League, the playoff that will be coming up in Pretoria, where they will be playing their trade from June 16. We hope that they will do well. They came third in the 4th season. In the 5th season now, we want to see the Kingsmen going for the 2nd or the 4th to show improvement in their games. Congrats to them. They'll be able to at least acquire some better hands to join them this season. We wish them the best there. Well, be able to showcase some basketball and also volleyball there. But this time around, we have to come back and talk about our own football league, NPFL. It's getting very interesting because it's very, very competitive. Compared to some leagues in Europe, you really want to look at NPFL. You give kudos to those players for what they do. Traveling home everywhere. With the way everything is right now, insecurity, bad roads, they are trying. NPFL Rangers turned at home. by Heartland in Oriental Derby. At the Cathedral in Enugu, Heartland came. They were able to, at least they saw the game, they conquered the game, defeating Rangers surprisingly at home. That was a moment that Rangers fans, the Antelopes fans, wouldn't be, at least the Flying Antelopes fans wouldn't be expecting it at all, but they did well. The man called Amoneke plotted well, and that plot came with a result there. Talking about the MPFL. Well, right now, MPFL, let's have a glimpse of Aqua United versus El Kanemi. Then we come back and look at how the MPFL match the other two went by.
We welcome each and every one of you, and we thank the match commissioner, Dr. Bayo, Akinsoya Cletus from Oshoda Blue Host. We'll take this kickoff playing from my left to right, while the visitors in all in blue jersey, white shirt and blue host will play from my right to left.
What a way to go there, talking about Aqua United versus El Kanemi Warriors. Well, looking at that particular game, well, right now, MPFA is getting much serious because of the fact that they are all running either to qualify for Champions League or to get away from relegation. Let's look at the summary of match day 33 across Nigeria. The summary before we look at the result there. Well, for the way it is, Katsina United become second team to take points off Remo Stars in Ikenne this season. Only two clubs have been able to do this. They play draw. Heartland win first game in 6 matches against Rangers, win 1, draw 1, and they lost 4. Ikorodu City have now scored 2+ goals at home in 8 straight matches. Lobi continue their winless run in 2025. In fact, that's a way of wrapping up because they are right now they are relegated from the league. Well, let's take a look at the result of games played, and you have to look at the fact that Remo Stars, they were able to at least hold it. They play goalless against Katsina United. Getting a point is far better than a loss there. Ikorodu City, they dominated in Lagos. Nangasnados, they defeated them 3-0. Bende Insurance pipped Kwara United by a lone goal. Sunshine Stars defeated Eyimba. That's a good one for Sunshine Stars. Bayelsa United 3-0 against Shooting Stars. Enugu Rangers shocked at home by Heartland 2-0. While Abia Warriors they defeated Rivers United 2-0. I'm sure Raymond Star will be thanking Abia Warriors for helping them. Akwa United play 1-0. The game you just saw there against El Kanemi, while Kano Pillars defeated Lobi, making them to go down there. Well, for Kano Pillars, they have their special thanks for Ahmed Musa and Rabiu Ali. Those two players adding so much sparks. Right now, Nasarawa United in the battle of the North Central, 3-2, 5-goal thriller. What a game there. But Nasarawa United triumph, winning that game 3-2 in Lafia. Well, Joseph, you look at this result for this match day 33. You want, like I said, Raymond Star will be thanking. They should be thanking Akwa United, Abia Warriors
for stopping
Rivers could not win.
They really did them a big favor there, because if Rivers would have won,
it would just be left cut down.
Yeah, that would mean more gap between Rivers United and Remo, so Remo should thank them. But the results that I was happy for is the one for Sunshine, for them to have been able to defeat Eyimba at home 2-1. It's also a good result. And you want to look at the Rangers game. Nobody expected this one. It is an Oriental derby. It's a very big match, an important match. But somehow Amunike found a way, even though they've not been having it good this season. Heartland, for me, should have been relegated or should be relegated. But for them to have gone to the Cathedral and got this kind of result is really massive. It's very massive for them. And yeah, Ikorodu City, I don't know how this coach brought this mojo, how he did it, how they are scoring goals left, right, and center at home.
They scored 50 goals this season.
I just don't know what he tells them in the dressing room, but it's actually beautiful. I'd love to be in the dressing room with them and see, and just hear him talk. And because it's not so easy. We don't know the Nigerian league with a lot of goals as Remo is scoring. I've never seen it. It's not just the fact that they are scoring, it's the consistency in scoring it. I mean, 7-0 the other time was what I saw, right? 3-0
this one.
3-0 this time. A lot of goals. How many matches now? You will never hear low score line when Ikorodu City is involved. And this is the Nigerian league where we all thought to score one goal is very difficult. So it means that it is doable. This league can be more exciting because in football, when there are more goals, more excitement. So this league can be much more exciting than it is right now if tactics is being applied like the one Ikorodu City's coach is applying. Because you can see this is results now. There's no talk. This absolute result, and we can all see that it is doable against even the top beans of the Nigerian Premier League.
Match day 33 there that we just wrapped up in all the games I played over the weekend. I have to give kudos to the coach of Ikorodu City, Aweroro. He came around, turned things around for that club, and right now they are among the big boys. For Atlant, they did well, getting to win that Oriental. That's a good one at the Cathedral. You don't get it easy there against Rangers International, but right now they did, and they won. Kudos to Amunike, the coach of that team, and the entire players who really came together to beat Rangers. And for Eyimba, they lost against Sunshine Stars. What a game there, 2-1. The team right now, at least, trying to get their group back. Well, looking at the MPFL, well, we have to look at the table 1 and 2. As we look at it, just get stand by. The top scorer, MPFL top scorer, will be coming after we look at the table. At least we need to celebrate our old top scorers too there. Remo Stars, look at it now, 62 points. Ahead of Rivers United, 55. So that 1 point they got in that game yesterday has given them that edge. They have 6 points, and rather it's 7, right? Yes. It's getting better for them, and they are happy because this 7 point has given them that edge. That okay, how many matches to go? 5 matches. If you if
we drop 2 games, we are still safe.
So 3 times 5, 15. Yes. So if you minus the 7 from 15, 8 points left. Yeah. So if they can hold on to it and win at least out of the 5, win 3. Yes. They are made.
Yes. And it is now in their hands. That's how we say it. It's all in their hands to lose or to win it. If they had dropped the 3 massive points, then it would have been just 6 points. And everybody would be looking at how to just beat Remo 2 matches, and then they lose the league. But then that 1 point cushion
can give them that win.
It gives them a very good opportunity, and it plays their own destiny in their hands now. They have 5 games. All they need to do is win 3. So it's going to be very interesting, the next 5 games of Remo Stars, or at least the first 3 games of Remo Stars, to see if they can actually do it by winning straight up either home or away. Win those 3 games and you become the champions of the Nigerian Football League.
Well, seriously, this league is very interesting. It's still down to the wires anyway. It's not clear yet. You have 5 more matches to go. And you look at Remo Stars and Rivers United really trying to see how they can close the gap against Remo Stars. Remo Stars, no matter how tiny it is, they keep adding one, and now they have at least 7 points ahead. They are looking to hope that they can win the league.
And I cannot, just help it but talk about Ikorodu City up there in the 4th position, looking for African. If you look at the table, the usual suspect is Rivers United. That's there really, in the real sense of it. Before you would find Rivers United, you'd find Kano Pillars, Enugu Rangers, Eyimba. Maybe even Bayelsa United. They are all far away, not unlike the vintage Nigerian football seasons that we have. So really, it's very, very beautiful. It tells you why football is a very, very beautiful game. Gives opportunity to everybody that is ready to plan, execute plan, and work hard. So this is the result of hard work for Remo Stars. Now, they've been around in the previous season looking like they are going to do it, but this is the best opportunity they have. And I really think they are going to achieve it because 7 points is massive, for 5 games.
Well, seriously, looking at this table, the big boys, 7, 8, 9. You look at Kano Pillars. Shooting Stars, they are 6th on the table. Kano Pillars, Enugu Rangers, Eyimba. From 6 to 9, they are not even close to having 50 points. 48, 47, 46 there. And you look at Ikorodu City, they have 52 points. Abia Warriors 53. You have Rivers 55. So this season, they've really done what is happening in England too. For Bologna, for Nottingham Forest, we have Abia Warriors and Ikorodu City doing that right now, and they are really singing the swan song for the fact that they are doing well. For Rivers United, they continue to push and running after Remo Stars, who right now will be looking at their stars, counting it that, okay, we have 5 matches, try and win 3, and then we can celebrate. Well, as it is, let's flip it to the other side of how the table is in our own league, always celebrating Nigerian Football League and also Nigerian sport. Kwara United, yeah, they're still there alongside Niger Tornadoes. Plateau United have been able to at least jump away from any fear of relegation now. Despite losing against Nasarawa United, they they are already in 13 comfortably. They lost, but they are still there in 13th position. Nasarawa, they have 39 points. You have Akwa United, you have Sunshine Stars, you have Lobby, their case has been cleared. They are gone. They are playing NNL.
It is so sad. Lobby is where I come from. And, at the beginning of the season, if you were to be asked to pick relegation candidates, I'm sure Lobby Stars will not be among them. But this is how fast things can go bad in football. They thought they started well by recruiting a lot of players, buying various players from different league stage. Now, after buying all those players, the whole thing went wrong. The whole the change of coach happened. They thought they could salvage the season. We all gave them hope. We all believed that it's Lobby Stars. Somehow they will find a way. But at the end, look at how it ended. If you had have asked me that Lobby Stars will go for relegation, I would argue it with you and I would never ever agree with. But like I said, good things happen fast in football. Ikorodu United, the same way bad things happen also fast in football, and that's why we have Lobby Stars at the end of the log of the Nigerian Football League.
Well, seriously, this is very tough. You look at all the teams, they are so neck to neck, 43, 43, 42, 41, 39, 38. It's so close. In fact, right now, no team is safe here.
No team is safe.
No team is safe here. Anything can still happen for the remaining 5 matches.
I do not exclude Kwara United.
That's why I said no team is safe.
From 11th position downward, anyone can be a victim of relegation. If you don't keep your head up and win games, you can go down anytime, because Akwa United and Sunshine Stars are just like how many points? 5 points away from Kwara United. So 5 points is 1.5.
And you have 15 points left.
And 15 points to gain. So if you lose 2-3 games, you are relegated right up from Kwara United, which is the 11th position, down to the
Sunshine
19.
So the teams that are 19, 18, 17 can still come up.
Yes.
And why those ones?
Yes, and it's beautiful, That means the next 5 games is going to be very competitive, like we've never seen before, all across the table of the league.
No one is safe.
Nobody is safe.
Because at the middle of the park, or at the head of the table, you also look at Rivers trying to see how they can close the gap.
And even at the middle, in between the 6th to the 10th, they are still vying for opportunity to go to
Champions League,
African Champions League or CAF Confederations Cup. So, you know, it's really open for everybody to do whatever they can do.
What's a league there? Really? You want to agree with me that NPFL is very, very tough. And this season is outstanding because you look at all the teams playing neck to neck, trying to garner a point there. Well, from there, let's take a look at the top scorers in our league. At least I have to give kudos to them. It's not easy. This league, a tough one there. Top goal scorer for match 33 so far. We have Nasarawa United and Nas Yusuf topping there with 15 goals. Nigerian football is turning to Italian Serie A, where it's not easy to score a goal. Rabiu Ali, wow, he has done well, 11 goals, alongside Anthony Ijoma of Abia Warriors, and also Shola Adelani of Ikorodu City. All of them scored 11 goals. Ayomide Cole for Ikorodu City, 10 goals. Sunday Mego of Abia Warriors, 10 goals. Kayode Oke of Bende Insurance, 8. And Ossie Martins of Lobby Stars. What a painful one.
You know, I don't understand why Ossie Martins is scoring goals and then Lobby Stars are relegating. And then you look at the Nasarawa United guy. Anas Yusuf is 15. Topping the log, but Nasarawa United is not even in the first 10 on the table. So that tells you they are scoring goals, but they are conceding more, which is not good, which means they need to work on their defense, really. But, you know, it's beautiful for him. At least he goes home with something, and I'm quite sure that other clubs will come in for him for him to have achieved this feat of becoming the highest goal scorer in the league.
Seriously, a big one out there. Our time is fast running now. We have to quickly move away. Let's just look at under 20 AFCON there, because right now they will be, at least the draw has been conducted yesterday. Under 20 AFCON, Flying Eagles to face Tunisia. They face Tunisia, Kenya, and Morocco. They have to at least redraw that particular under 20 AFCON after Cote d'Ivoire pulled out. And right now, after the draw conducted, we have Kenya, Tunisia, and Morocco to face. Talking about our under 20 team Flying Eagles. As it is, the draw there in Group A: Egypt, Zambia, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Tanzania, Nigeria, Tunisia, Kenya, and Morocco. We have Senegal, Central African Republic, DR Congo, and Ghana. This is the new under 20 AFCON draw, and we hope that our team they will travel to Egypt soon so that they can get used to the weather there before the competition begins. Quickly. You
know, Nigeria does well in the age grade football, but I tend to doubt their performance when it comes to the African version of it. When it's the world version, or the whole world, they do very, very well. But in the African version, you would agree with me that they find it a lot difficult. I don't understand why.
But they are 7-time champion of Africa.
Yes, 7-time, but recently they've not really been doing well in the age grade football when it comes to Africa. So maybe the coaches and whoever is in charge would look into that and, you know, try to find a solution to that, because we need to actually, you know, retain that our glory when it comes to.
We have to give credit to their coach, Aliou Ziber. If you check what they did at the Wafu B, you give kudos to them for what they're doing. And right now, under 20, qualifying for it also, it's not easy. When you play African teams, it's tough. Do you notice that when you watch AFCON, since with all sincerity, if you compare Euros and AFCON, yes, Euros might have all the normal paparazzi and glamour. But sincerely, AFCON is very tough. And
I can very, very much assure you that you are 100% right. Football in Africa is more difficult than it is when you are playing it in Europe. The main reason why is it is very, very physical up here.
Everybody
right? is jamming everybody. And the marking.
Everybody now for Africa.
and you know, the way we mark each other, you know, Europeans will allow you keep the ball and play. They play. But in Africa, no. Your coach is telling you marking back to back to back. Oh my goodness. So really, it's very, very difficult when you are playing in Africa. And then another thing is the pitch condition does not even help. But when you go over there in Europe, everything tends to be smoother. These white people will just allow you to play football, express yourself while you express themselves. But down here, no.
That's why I said
they will tell you if you miss the ball, don't miss the leg.
Oh my goodness. Well, try to celebrate our own under 20 AFCON coming up. The draws being made. Our Nigerian team will play against Tunisia, Kenya, and also Morocco. We wish them the best there as they prosecute those games there in Egypt. Well, right now, let's quickly move to Europe. Our time is really running fast, and it's getting so interesting with Joseph Peter in the studio. This time around, we quickly, at least, let's talk about the Premier League. Matches play, Man City, Chelsea. What happened between them and Ipswich Town? Well, quickly, let's have just a brief look of it, and then we look at the result on the table.
okay, tight to the touchline, down the line for Let's come from 2 goals down here.
What a moment there for Chelsea fans. Even though they played draw, but that wasn't a smooth moment. They were almost... Well, right now, let's take a look at the result of the Premier League that was played over the weekend. For Manchester City, it was a moment of scare, but they were able to come back. 5-2 against Crystal Palace, 2-2 Leicester. Beyond Nottingham Forest, well, this time around, they couldn't hold it against Everton, 1-0. Aston Villa, 3. Southampton, well, that team... it's not too easy for them. Arsenal, Brentford, all these games coming up. Now, quickly, Manchester United and Newcastle 4-1. What really went wrong with them? Well, as it is right now, let's take a look at how the table is. While we're talking, maybe Newcastle United can also be rolling under that, but it's there. Let's take a look at the table. Liverpool, Arsenal, you just have to give kudos to Liverpool. They'll be able to hold it down, hold it 76 points. Arsenal, Nottingham Forest, Newcastle, Man City, Chelsea. The battle every week is as if Chelsea and Man City are really competing for this. Newcastle, the 3 of them, Aston Villa, Fulham, Brighton, and Bournemouth, straight down to the other side of the table. And you have to give kudos to Liverpool for what they are doing. Brentford, Crystal Palace in that pecking order. Match day 32.
You know, Liverpool have won the league already. Let's just not waste time talk about them and all that. We're all sure they've won the league already. Arsenal are going to be second. We all know that. But you know, the competition, real competition, is between Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, and Man City. There, even Chelsea included, who makes the top 4 or top 5 as it we will have it now, and who doesn't. And for me, it's looking like Nottingham Forest will be the one to drop out of that.
You want to enjoy those goals, but let's run through. Let's go to Spanish La Liga quickly. Matches were played. At least we need to touch everywhere. Let's just go there straight up. Matches, Spanish La Liga result there. For Real Madrid, they managed to win that game. Mbappe could not hold his own. They lost out there, and you have to give kudos to Barcelona, still holding their own in the La Liga. At least holding their own there. Congrats to them. At least they are holding their own. They are trying their best there. Also for German Bundesliga, they are also trying their best. For Bayern, they play 1-1 against Borussia Dortmund in their own game there. What a tough match as it is right now. You have to give 2-2 rather against Borussia Dortmund. Give those to Borussia Dortmund, who couldn't do well in the Champions League, but they had a way to do well in the German Bundesliga. And if you look at how the table is in this particular league, you have to give kudos to Bayern. They've done it well, 69, 6 points ahead of Bayern Leverkusen, defending champion. And kudos to Bayern for being able to do it. Borussia Dortmund standing 8 on the log there, ahead of Werder Bremen and Augsburg. Well, straight down to Italia Serie A. Let's look at the result also. Italia Serie A, Udinese, they lost against AC Milan, 4-0. AC Milans are back. And you look at Inter, 3-1 against Cagliari. Juventus defeated Lecce, 2-1. And Lazio against Roma. It was a derby in the city of Rome. Lazio versus Roma. They played their games in the city of Rome there. For Inter, the top with 6 points ahead of Napoli, 65. Atalanta defeating Bologna, and right now Bologna moved down to 5th on the log. Juventus topping, and you have to give kudos to Inter being able to hold it down. Match day 32. How many matches to go? They are running for 8. They have 6 more, and it's still very, very open for the winner there. At the bottom of the table, it's not easy at all, as they are all trying to see how they can stay top there. Well, Joseph, Borussia Dortmund versus Bayern, a game that, if you look at it, I did expect Dortmund to bounce back to play 2-2 against Bayern. I
wouldn't see it as bouncing back. They are still at a very, very poor position when it comes to the log. For me, this is just a hangover of the Champions League that happened to Bayern. And I'm quite sure that their game, their mindset... Through
all the story we have for you on the show, 360 Sport, alongside Joseph Peter. Thank you so much, Joseph.
Thank you for having me.
Are you wearing Real Madrid today?
Yes. They are my second team. That's what you don't know.
Okay, just have to celebrate. Yes, okay, you are Arsenal, you are Real, and you are Lobby Stars.
No, yeah, I'm Arsenal, I'm Real, I'm Pillars first before Lobby Stars.
Pillars before Lobby.
Yes,
okay, maybe Pillars will get you a jersey there. What a way to end the show there. I'm Adeniyi Ajishafe. Sport is always business and fitness, as we always say. Thanks for the entire team that made this happen, and also thanks for watching there once again.